Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The Black Picasso cleaning up the sport of boxing, speaking facts over the gossip. Haters all up in the comments. I ain't here to be liked, but smash that like and noti button. We don't sugarcoat nothing, just healthy boxing discussions. Thriller, painting these pictures oh so vivid. Applying Duke, Coach K, that straight full court pressure. Only God could judge me, so tell these chumps ducking smoke. Remember one thing that the boxing guys don't like: ugly. Shut out Big Fish and everybody that joins the panel. For all my new supporters, sub to the channel. Like Floyd say, it's easy work. That bait jab with that left hook send them straight to sleep. Experts, we the experts. We never sugarcoat. Tune in to Black Picasso. Sit back, enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
What's up? What's up to the Wolf Pack? This is your boy General Big Fish with my boy Q. What's up, Q?
What's good with it, my loyal right brother?
Chilling, man. We about to take over the Black Picasso Network today. Man, I appreciate you, little bro, for letting us do this, man. This is a great time in boxing. We just had some great fights. We got the superior A-side. Tank Davis just gave us a tremendous show. We had Lomachenko and Devin Haney just put on a beautiful fight for us. That was real big. So now we got the big super fight, Q.
The biggest of the biggest.
What you think about this fight, Q? Let me know what you got.
Oh man, I'm noticing, man, in the YouTube community, man, a lot of people changing their tune, man, because now the days is counting down. All that speculating and hoping and wishing and thinking, in a matter of days, the truth is finna be told and exposed.
What you mean? Who you been listening to the YouTube streets and they done changed up? What you trying to say? They scared, Q?
What I'm saying is they know that the shit is real now. It then went from 110%. There's no way Errol Spence catcher. Now you hear him say that it's a 50-50 fight. Now you hearing them say that, certain things that can't, but no, many months before, that's all we used to hear. And then for the life of me, one thing I don't know why we keep talking about is the resumes. When the man done said it out of his own mouth, quote unquote, since we like to quote sources, the sources know better than him when he admits that he hasn't fought a marquee name. That means he hasn't fought nobody.
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 Nobody, Q. So we've been talking about this for a long time. So a lot of this stuff I've been hearing don't matter anymore. The splits, all of that. The conversation back then was relevant to what the splits was because we was trying to figure out who fought it was. That was the conversation. Since we didn't have a fight to talk about, we had to talk about why the fight wasn't happening. So we passed that now. So we moving on to present day. So present day, right now we gonna get into it, Q. We got a couple of topics we want to talk about. The first topic I want you to tell me about, Q. Let me know why Bud Buddy Nation owes the Big Fish Errol Spence an apology. What you think about that?
First of all, man, everything he said he was going to do, just because he didn't give just because your fighter didn't give y'all fights that y'all wanted to see, don't mean the same for us. Because the man done gave us several thrilling fights that we love to see. That's why we support him. For
So
many years, I done had to hear Errol Spence ducking the boogeyman. Errol Spence ducking the boogeyman. But all the while, instead of the boogeyman doing something or put himself in a position to where I could say, damn, maybe, just maybe, right? We having too many exhibitions, man, and I can't gauge it off those exhibitions, man. I just can't, man. But yet, all the way to the point to where this man's been out of the ring since Ugas, when they done tried to push him to fight Keith Thurman, man, as he stated, he stood on that, man. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence made this fight happen, man. He made this fight happen, man. Bud Buddy Nation, y'all owe the big fish a huge apology. It's not our fault that y'all man ain't never gave y'all the fights y'all wanted to see. It's not his fault, man. Right now, the big fish is giving y'all the fight y'all want to see. So Bud Buddy Nation, y'all owe the big fish a huge apology.
hey Q, I feel like an apology is owed for the Keith Thurman narrative. It was just pushed and pushed and pushed that Earl was going to go up to 154 and fight Keith Thurman for no title. What kind of sense do that make? No sense at all. But this propaganda was getting pushed every day, day after day. I had to hear about Keith Thurman and Errol Spence. That was the narrative. Al was going to make Errol Spence fight Keith Thurman. That was the push. Errol Spence not his own boss. Errol Spence can't do this. Errol Spence can't do that. That's all we heard. Present day and time, we seen yesterday on the Stephen A. Smith interview with Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. We heard Errol Spence say that I had to push back hard to keep this fight to make this fight take place. So I think an apology is owed for that. It's been alluded to all along that this man been ducking like he's scared. We go see when that bell ring, who go be stepping to who. He already told you what he go do. He go stop him. That's what he trying to do. So just think, Q. What if Earl would have fought Terence Crawford in 2020 during a pandemic? What would the money look like for both of them? Well, they'd have got a guaranteed 1 million, maybe 2 million. Now they're about to break the bank. Errol Spence is a great businessman because he is associated with great businessmen. Al Heyman is the best in boxing. Hey, shout out to Miss T, Boxing Fans TV. I remember she had a saying that PBC was going out of business. Do you remember that, Q?
Oh, yes, indeed. I remember that.
Okay, the Paramount Plus and all of that. But now it seems to be that Top Rank is going out of business. Who was one of the main stars with Top Rank? Do you remember? He's not there anymore. He's about to fight.
He would go by the name of Terence Bud Crawford.
Terence Bud Crawford, right? So he headlined it. He was supposed to be the number one fighter over there, and look what's about to happen. Soon as he leave, he felt it. He knew he didn't do his job, so he ran off and left. Now he trying to come destroy something else, but we ain't gonna let him do it over here at the PBC. Earl about to shut him down, and we go.
Oh, no doubt.
I don't think a rematch is gonna be necessary. What you think, Q?
Oh, I think 110%. I think what I think is going to happen, I think it's going to be too much for Buddy, man. I think he might potentially retire Bud Crawford. That's why I understand fully why he's trying to get the most he can, man. This is retirement check right here, man.
Retirement check, okay. Well, we gonna move on to the next one, Q. Let's
Move on
see.
to the next one.
So this I've been hearing this a lot, Q. I had to hear your boy Mosquito Spray just spew this whole size and stuff about it, how Terence Crawford is gonna be the stronger man and all of this and that. We not worried about size and all of that. We just worried about skills. Skills pay the bills. So don't use age, size as an excuse after Errol Spence wins this fight. Please don't do it, ladies and gentlemen in the Wolfpack. Any bud buddy that's listening right now, please do not use a fucking excuse when your boy get his ass kicked from pillar to post. So I've been hearing that, you know, if Errol Spence is unable to bully Terence Crawford, then it's gonna be an easy night for Bud. But we not worried about that. We know that's not the case. What you think? What rehydration? What you think Earl gonna be in the ring, Q? How much you think he gonna come in like the night of the fight?
Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. That's what's gonna get him, man. See, they gonna see the difference when he get in the ring, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna have one that's gonna rehydrate to a super welterweight, a 154-pounder, and you're gonna have another one that's gonna rehydrate 168 or better. He gonna be big up in that ring, and I wouldn't be surprised if he handled him easily and dominate him in that ring. I wouldn't even be surprised, right? But for many years, because of those glorified exhibitions, you know, get to see this Street Fighter shit, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, Bud been doing in the ring. Y'all talk about how great he is, things of that nature. When Spence Jr. beat the brakes out of Buddy, started holler, none of that shit about size, none of that bullshit. Y'all said he got a wrestling pedigree background.
High school wrestling, Q. Hey, you know who else? You know who else I heard that from? Conor McGregor was fighting Floyd Mayweather. How did that wrestling work for him?
Oh man, Floyd had to carry him then all the rounds, man, because Floyd could have been got him out of there. That shit there, he was talking about meant absolutely nothing.
So Q, this is what I want to transition to. We got the third thing that we have to make sure these bud buddies don't try to pull. And this is a part of another apology. This is a part of the apology that's needed. And they need to admit this. Errol Spence has done everything he said he was going to do. Is that a false statement, Q? Am I tripping on that?
Say, man.
He got the 3 belts, right?
He got the 3 belts. He cleaned up his side of the street. He knew that he was going to make this fight bigger than it would have when Dave wanted to fight. Because, again, majority fan base as a whole, they haven't been supporting their mans, man, like they supposed to, man. And they never want to talk about it or admit it.
So when you say they don't support you, you're pretty much referring to as the pay-per-views, right?
Yes, sir.
What CQ where I had to push back with you on that? Like we done already established dominance on that end. So we
superior dominance.
Yeah,
superior.
we got the check mark. So we already won that mind game at the negotiating table. Who name is first on the headliner banner in Vegas, Q? Is it Errol Spence or Terence Bud Crawford?
The biggest fish, man.
Oh, okay.
The biggest.
Yeah, Q. We don't even have to rub that one in no more. It's understood who the A side is. There's no question about that.
Superior. Superior.
But let me say this, Q. We are happy for Bud Crawford because he stuck to his guns. He did what a man is supposed to do. He felt he was worth more than was offered. So he held out, went and fought who? What's his name? David. Bless you, man. Yeah, that dude.
Yeah, that dude.
And we still waiting on the results back from that petition. Have you heard any breaking news on that? Or they Top Rank swept that under the rug?
I believe
BLK Prime on the what you call it? Bankruptcy. They got to hide that in the bankruptcy.
Oh yes, indeed. You don't hear nothing else about BLK Prime, talking about being participated in the sport of boxing.
What happened, Q? What happened to BLK Prime? Let's swing to that real quick. What happened to BLK Prime?
Hey, man.
Do you remember they was about to push a new agenda? They was gonna create a whole new UFC environment for the BLK Prime, and all the great fighters was go follow Bud, and Bud showed everybody how to do this and that. What happened to that?
Man, Bud got paid that $10 million. I was not convinced at first. I said there was no way that nigga using that as a cover up just to get out of the fact that he didn't want no parts of the biggest. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want no parts of the big fish, man. But when I saw that article of BLK Prime, and the article I'm talking about, gentlemen, is the article talking about at the time him signing with Golden Boy to fight Alexis Rocheblanc, right?
Yeah.
And within that article, it was talking about BLK Prime was looking to exit the sport of boxing. That's when I was convinced, yes, indeed, Bud got paid that $10 million because he put their ass out of business when it comes to want to do another fight on boxing on BLK Prime. They're going to stick to the dating site. No, they're going to stick to that shit, man. Because I tell you what, man, the ring girls, the promotion, that shit was trash, bro. That shit was trash.
Oh, man, okay.
I saw better females in HEB.
Cut. Hey, we gonna transition on that, man. Hey. So what you think about this statement, Q? The biggest fish is the biggest boss in boxing. What do you think about that? Is that a asinine statement?
Oh, not at all, man. Because at the end of the day, man, somebody had to have the brains in this situation. And getting them little old guarantees at Top Rank, but yet they Tyson Fury, they pushing Lomachenko, but they not pushing you. Why in the you would resign with those folks when you saw that it was no food for you to eat at Top Rank, bro? But people will say that you made all the best moves, things of that nature, but yet if you ain't landing no marquee fights and you got to fight the likes of, think you stepping it up in competition, but all the while, all you doing is stepping it up in the vegetable aisle because you going from green beans to an avocado. Yeah.
See, Q, you know what, man? And I think Terence Crawford is the one who, after the fight over, the apology go come after this ass kicking for all this mud slanging and making people think this and that he really wanted this fight and he really just this boogeyman and all of that. Errol Spence, shout out to Ether of the Black Picasso. He has a 19-part series, maybe 20, of just pure footage of Errol Spence being criticized about not fighting Terence Crawford. But in this interview yesterday, he let everybody know you got to do what the promotions say. I don't care who you is. Floyd Mayweather is probably the only one that doesn't fit under this umbrella if they have to do what the promoters say. Yeah, they can say no, but they can't just call shots like that unless you built up a type of rank that you need to have to do that. Errol Spence has just got to that level. He didn't have that power a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You know what, go on and on. But now he's at the point to where he's like, man, my reputation is taking too much of a hit. I gotta fight this dude. I'm not taking no tune-up. Have you took a tune-up, Q?
Not at all, man. Now don't even talk to him about a tune-up.
This he spun the block, didn't he?
Man, he spun that motherfucker. That nigga did a whole 360. That nigga did a donut span on the block.
So to stay on point, he knew it was too early to fight that dude. He knew it would be too much trouble to fight the dude, even if he wanted to. He heard the rumors. He listened to what other fighters say. He talked to Al. That's his advisor, right, Q? He gets advice from Al Heyman. Al Heyman say, hey, it's not the time to fight this dude. We got easier fights that we can make over here, and you'll get a bigger piece of the pie. So it was our business, but now we here for a big fight. I want to thank E Thriller the Black Picasso. Y'all please hit that like button for my brother, because this is what we've been waiting for years. It's finally on the books. Have BoxRec put that up yet, Q? Is the fight posted yet?
I want to say it's posted. It should be posted out now.
Well, yeah, we go figure that out soon, man. And this the last one we got, Q. How many rounds is it gonna take for Bomac to throw in the family size Cheeto bag? And with Cheeto bag, we mean Ty. So we know Bomac got a tendency to eat at inappropriate times. So we figure in the biggest fight of their life, it won't be no different when you Bomac and you addicted to Cheetos. So Q, when do you think this fight is gonna end? Will it end with the Cheeto bag flying in the ring? Will it go the distance? Will Earl just flat out knock him out? How do you think Bud's gonna win? What you see?
Man, I see Errol Spence just from round 1 all the way to round 6, just dominating this dude, man. Showing him who's boss in that ring, man. I see Errol Spence hitting that nigga with some shit that he not gonna be able to absorb and take, man. I see Errol Spence committed to doing something nobody's been able to do, and that's beat the fuck out that man's body. Man, the man let that shit be known that he is stepping. And I say 6th round, more than the 7th round, I could see a TKO stoppage, right? Because he's going to be taking too much punishment, and Bomac ain't going to have no choice but to throw in the Cheeto bag.
You gotta throw it in. Say, Q. I feel, man, when that opening bell ring, first 3 rounds is Earl Spence go lead, go throw the more punches, gonna land more. Terence Crawford is gonna be overwhelmed first three rounds. Then I say 4 or 5. I can see Terence Crawford warming up, getting more comfortable with the power that's coming his way, because he's gonna be forced to open up. He's gonna have to open up. Earl Spence is a master at pressure. That's what he's not getting credit for, Q. So I feel by 8, 9 rounds, we gonna see that Cheeto bag. They gonna try to save face. They gonna fake an injury in the corner or something. My hand hurt, Bomac. Throw that Cheeto bag in there. That's what I think, Q. That's what I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man, because I know that from him on down, Earl Spence dominate him like I feel like he gonna dominate him. That one-sided ass whooping that's coming to Buddy, man. Oh man, I can see him having so much pride, man, to where I don't know, man. Might try to get himself disqualified just to, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised, man. Just to not let him take that ass whooping like a man, cause boy, Earl Spence gonna hit that nigga with them bricks, boy. That nigga gonna feel that shit, man. That nigga gonna be trying to utilize all of the ring, but you know, Earl Spence ain't boots. Earl Spence know how to cut the ring off. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna follow you around all night. He ain't got time for that shit.
From pillar to post. From pillar to
People,
post, Q. I cannot wait. Hey, I wanted to go 12, to be honest. I've been waiting for this so long. I want to enjoy my night. I really do. So I wouldn't mind seeing the 9-3, 8-4 Spence fight by unanimous decision. I love to see that. But I don't think he can last that long.
I don't think so either.
Hey, my dog Rebel Life, shout out to Rebel Life Boxing. He had a great assessment breakdown. He said himself that he's never seen Earl Spence get tired in the fight. He has a high motor. Bud's gonna have to clip him. That's his only chance, Q. He got to.
That's his only chance. They talk about him knocking out a man that has never. Repeat. He's never touched the ground. He's never touched the ground. He's never had the stanky leg, man. I've never seen this man retreat, right? It was the hit like I've seen, you know. I just don't get how you see a knockout when I don't even see a knockdown, because just like Kenny Porter say, Earl Spence is not going down. He is not going down. He is not going down, bro. He's not.
Hey, we hear a narrative that's pushed a lot that all the great fighters picking Bud to win. But can you go down the list of great trainers and fighters that's picking Earl Spence to win this fight? Can you please dispel some of that propaganda? Like everybody with the knowledge and all the veterans are picking Crawford. Can you dispel that? Debunk that, please?
Oh, yes, indeed, man. There's several trainers, professionals, few Hall of Famers that, you know, ain't rocking with the narrative, man. They see the real talent, man. They saw Spence in the Olympics, man. You know, you got trainers like Abel Sanchez. They don't like it when Abel Sanchez talk. You know, he break down specifically why. It's just not going to happen for him, man.
So Abel Sanchez did pick Earl Spence to win, right?
Oh, yes, indeed.
But Q, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link. But before I drop it, if anybody want to come chop it up with us, we don't feel like that we know everything, but we know most about this topic and about boxing. We're right about most of these topics. Everything that we've said has came true. I said be patient. The fight is coming. Neither one of the fighters had anywhere to go. So I want to see who has an opposite opinion of what we're talking about. And you feel like sparring with somebody, Q?
I don't know. Let's just bring them on, man. Let's just see what they talking about, man. Especially if they got something on the topics, man. Especially, I want to know what round is that Cheeto bag coming in, man.
The Cheeto bag?
Throw in the Cheeto bag.
Hey, man. Hey, Bomac, he better be giving that boy some good advice in that corner. What them instructions look like? What them instructions look like on that last fight against Avocado? Was you paying attention to the corner?
Man, that man is coaching himself, man. That man is coaching himself.
Hey, and anybody that's clicking the link, hey, let's get this out the way. E-Thriller, the Black Picasso, he has rules for this channel. Number 1, turn your cam on. Also, mute your audio until today is me, General Big Fish and Q, until we introduce you. You have 5 minutes to speak. This is the most important. This should be number 1, E-Thriller. I'm going to have to talk to you. You need to put this in bold. Don't dominate the show. Number 5, don't mention other channels. And please, number 6, respect the host and the other guests. We're not here to yell at you. We're here to have an intelligent conversation, and let's do it like that. So I'm gonna add everybody in, then we go from there. Hey, Dre, the Southwest, I got you. You can cut your camera off. Big Golden, I see you, man. You can cut your camera off. D Young, I see you. You cut your camera off. All right, fellas. So I'm gonna bring on Dre, the Southwest. What you got for us, man?
Hey, what's going on? Straight out of Southwest Philly. So basically, I wanna say a few things, but it's just funny when you ask the brother to name some top fighters that said Spencer won when he named like one person, but that was kind of comical to me because there's not too many elite level fighters who have levels that's picking Spence to win because the brother don't really have too many levels. He has a couple nuanced levels, but not too many levels. But I don't got too much to say. Just wanted to say I'm definitely going with Crawford to beat Spence because I feel as though Spence has skills. Not too many nuances to his skills, but certain skills that we know he has, fundamentals, etc., etc. But I just think one thing that a lot of us are missing is that Spence does have an educated jab, but his jab has really been that good, and he's been able to proliferate the time he has used his jab because the angle he uses it from, because he's mostly fighting orthodox fighters. When you fight against another southpaw, that angle is taken away. And Terence Crawford has longer reach than Errol Spence. So Errol Spence won't really be able to use that jab in such a way that he used it against his former foes of yesteryears. It'll be kind of different. And then Crawford he's amazing at setting the distance. And another thing that Crawford doesn't get a lot of credit for is how educated his jab is. Spence has a good jab, but it's a steady jab. And that's pretty much it. I've seen Spence countered over that jab multiple times. Sean Porter countered him over it. Cal Brook countered him over it. Danny Garcia was able to hit him with wide right hands, being a shorter fighter with shorter arms. So he can easily be countered over the jab. But Terence Crawford, he counters people over the jab. And sometimes he sets the stage with his jab once he gets his rhythm in order to throw other punches. So I really think that Spence jab is going to kind of be obsolete because his feet are stuck to the ground when he fight. So I respect people that say that they think Spence going to win. I have no problem with that, but I really just don't see outside of Spence landing a power punch that might hurt. But if that power punch never comes, I really can't see Spence even honestly being competitive with Bud once Bud adjusts to his style, which is really not a hard style to adjust to. But that's all I got. I'm gonna fall back until the panel is open. I appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you, Dre, the Southwest. Can I give you a little quick question, real quick, man? Where you from, bro?
I'm from Philly, bro. Southwest Philly.
Okay, Southwest Philly. Shout out to y'all. So I just want to, before we get the open panel, because I know the ringmaster go want some smoke with you. So I really hope you stay around to give you some feedback on that, what you just said in the beginning. But what this is the $1 million question for me. The biggest attribute, or one of the greatest attributes that Terence Crawford fans love to mention, is the switch hitting. So what do you think he's going to come out in orthodox southpaw to start the fight out? Do you think he's going to switch at all? You think he's going to start off lefty? How do you see that?
I think Bud really just gonna come out. Bud is funny, man. Bud probably gonna come out literally the first 2 minutes orthodox and then just switch. That's probably what he's gonna do. I think he's gonna fight the fight primarily as a left-hander. That's what I think.
Okay, so we're not gonna get no surprises. So I can live with that. So we'll be prepared for that, Dre. So we go finish that discussion up in open panel. We appreciate your feedback, man. So
No
next
problem,
up,
my brother.
my man, Mr. Backend Golden. From where you from, Mr. Golden? What part of Georgia you from, man?
No, I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Okay, Dallas, Texas. Where you from? Oak Cliff, South Dallas, West Dallas. Where you from?
All
Stop
over,
playing,
goddamn.
Mr. Gordon. You ain't from it. You a bud buddy, man. The only bud buddy we can have in Texas is E. Thriller the Black Picasso. You're not welcome, man. But what's going on, man? You got no time.
Okay. Look, I'm at the restaurant, and sitting in my car, just to come listen to the heard that come on this bull crap. You ain't quitting talking. Now y'all know if it's to happen. Y'all talk about give Errol his credit. Yeah, he stood his ground. He stood because he knew if he wouldn't have went and fought Keith, he would have got drugged. Okay? And not so much he doing what he wanted to do. Errol Heyman was holding up this fight. And Errol too. Errol could have been put his foot down. You feel what I'm saying? Errol tried to force this man here to fight Keith, this and here and that there. Okay. He was back up in the corner. But he should have told Errol from the beginning, look, this is what I want. And all the bullshit here, the fight could have been made. Get a man what he want. Both of them deserve a guarantee. You feel what I'm saying? And let's keep it real. Bud stood his ground, Errol stood his ground until they got the fight made. You know, at the end of the day, I see Errol going to the hospital. Boy, gonna punish that boy. You know that, big kid.
So give me a breakdown, Mr. Golden. How you see it going? How it play out in the beginning, middle, and end? Let me know what you got. What's your prediction?
Listen, I'm gonna put this in here. Everybody all raw. Earl, he come and step in the bud. Earl can't come and step in the bud like that. He can't do it. He can't do it. That would be the worst mistake of his life, Big Fish. You know that. Quentin know that. As soon as he come in there with that stepping jive, just like Sean Porter start that stepping jive, come up in there, and what happened? He got lights out.
That's two different fighters, Mr. Golden.
I ain't no two different fighters. Earl, listen.
Sean Porter is not Errol Spence.
Listen, Errol Spence, just like all the rest of them, when they fight Bud, they got to change their game plan. You can't come in there with that crap, man. Bud is too much of a good counterpuncher. And what you gonna do? What Earl gonna do when Bud put him on the back foot?
That's
Earl,
something we got to see.
Earl can't fight. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I was just looking at some of the Sean Porter fight with Spence. When Sean had Earl on the back foot, Earl was lost. Earl couldn't do nothing. He was lost. And Sean
wasn't too lost. He was hitting. He was popping them with counters left and right. He wasn't too lost.
Man, yeah, he was. He was lost. But listen, when Bud, I'm gonna tell you something. When Bud go to step in the Earl and push the Earl and put his willpower on Earl, it's gonna be a totally different fight. I'm looking for Derek Jane to do just like Kenny Porter did. Throw the towel in, goddamn. Throw it in. You better save him.
Well, Mr. Golden, let me ask you this. Off some of our topics that we was hitting on today. So with that being said, you won't be one of the Bud buddies that won't be hollering Earl was too big.
No,
Earl was too strong while he beat him.
I ain't gonna say that.
You're not gonna be one of those fans, right?
Hell no, I'm coming. Like I told, I put it in the check. I ain't read none of the check. I told Big Fish, and the other day he was talking all that noise. I made a comment on his game. They get your money ready. God dang, gonna get your money. Y'all were talking that noise, Big Fish. Hey, your money. You got food stamps. I no Bud. I got them all. Quentin,
my back end don't take food stamps, Golden.
Well, I got food stamps. I got cash. I got IOU. I got the Piggly Wiggly greenback stamps. I got them all. Let's get the fight going. Like I said, be honest with you. Like I said with Quentin last night, I see 50-50 fight. But I'm pulling for Bud. I think Bud gonna sleep him.
So it's a 50-50 fight. Then you should see a way for Earl Spence to win. That's
I do see a way. I do see a way. Listen, I do see a way. I do see a way for Earl winning. I see a way for Earl winning. The way I see Earl winning, if they got Tony Weeks as a referee.
Oh no.
Hey, we gotta add that one to the list, Q. We got a new one.
Yep. Another conspiracy.
Blame it on. They gonna blame it on the ref, Q.
Yeah. That's gonna be another narrative, man.
Hey, Mr.
Tony
Golden,
Week.
we gonna save the rest of this for open panel, man. I hope you stick
Yeah,
around, man.
listen, I don't know if I'm gonna be open too long. You know, I got a little lady at the table, man. So I had to come off. I'll be listening to dead.
That's a bit, man. Well, we appreciate you stopping by, bro.
Yeah, I'm still gonna be on. You know, I'm gonna ease back in. But I ain't gonna mute my mic. But I'm really listening to them for us, man. But yeah, I'm not trying to leave her ass in a restaurant. So I want this one here.
Okay, that's a big, Mr. Golden.
All right, fella.
All right, we going to D Young next, man. What's going on, D Young?
What's poppin', fellas? Salute to y'all. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you, man. What you got on the topic, man?
Oh, hey, look, man. First off, shout out to the Wright brothers, my Uncle Q, my guy Big Fish. Appreciate y'all letting me on the panel. Shout out to my boy E Thriller in the Wolf Pack. Y'all like and subscribe if y'all hadn't, and check out the best 19-part series on YouTube. Y'all know what it is. But yeah, though, man, listen, bro. 50-50 fight. You know, I was definitely one of the ones that didn't think this fight was gonna happen. But listen, we here now. All that ducking, who did this, who did that. Hey, it's under the water now because I'm telling you guys, so this shit ain't going like how y'all think this gonna go. Now listen, it's ways Spence can win this, and it's ways Crawford can win this. Both guys got flaws, man. One guy likes to square up, the other guy likes to pull straight back. It's looping punches versus straight punches, man. This is the fight for fireworks right here. They gonna feel each other out the first round, I say, but the fight gonna start when somebody takes the first big blow. Now the thing of it is this: Spence, high motor, good conditioning, good jab. Use that left hook. He used that right hook. He used that nice little savvy uppercut. You know what I mean? Bud Crawford, the IQ, the athleticism, his ability to not just sit on his punches, but to generate power as he moves on punches. You know what I mean? Like this is a good fight. But the thing I see why I got Crawford winning this fight is strictly because of the experience, man. He been here before. He been under these Vegas lights before. It's new for Errol. But like I say though, man, we'll see who got the most dog in this fight. And one thing for sure, two things for certain. I ain't never seen Bud Crawford get bullied in the ring along as Errol Spence. So this is gonna be a great fight. But like I say, man, I just think Bud is just more savvy. He has more tools in his box, and I think he's gonna catch Spence with some shit he don't see. Just like he caught every other opponent. Just like he caught Porter. Just like he caught Benavidez. Just like he caught Horn. Bigger guys, bro. The man fought bigger guys at 47. Maybe not the best competition in y'all eyes, because Spence did have Porter. He did have Garcia. You know what I mean? He had those guys. And I feel that, you know, if it was the fifth, I can't even say if Bud would have got him, he did this. If it was the fifth, we'd all be jumping around this motherfucker. Listen, though, man. I think when we talk about two guys coming in with two different symptoms, with two different styles, I think I see a guy who throws punches and bunches, but I also see a guy who throws with you as you throw. You feel me? I feel that the work rate will be cut in half, and I feel like it'll be a better IQ. So you know what I mean? With that being said, I got Bud Crawford stopping him in 10 rounds. And that's all I got for you guys. You go to open time.
Okay, I appreciate you, D Young, for tuning in, man. And that feedback is cool. What I wanted to ask you about, D Young, because I know you really thought that Earl was going to fight Keith Thurman. So
yes, sir.
Are you feel any kind of way about it? Is it like he don't deserve credit for that because he was getting pushed for that? It seems like Al Heyman didn't want this fight to happen. So what do you think about that criticism that he was getting for that fight, that possible fight? D Young, you there? All right, we lost D Young, man. We back we got open panel now. Go ahead, Q. Q, are you there?
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, bros. So You got Dre had some smoke with you on that list, man. He said you only had one person on the list or whatever. So it's plenty of predictions that's out there. So
Yeah, Pete. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Nah, yeah, I just keep hearing people keep saying the size thing, which I really think is like a really overused narrative because Bud, now you look at Bud been fighting bigger dudes since Bradis Prescott. Now some people will say, okay, Bradis Prescott wasn't nothing. Yeah, but he knocked out. He was the first person to knock American out, and American went on to be a champion after that. Went on to beat Devin Alexander after that. Went on to beat Maidana after that. Went on to beat Chris Algieri after that. Went on to give Canelo problems until Canelo hit him with that one big punch after that. So Terence Crawford jumped up from 135 to 140 with a 2-week notice to fight Bradis Prescott, who is big, probably was bigger than Errol Spence at the time if you look at the fight in terms of like dimension and mass. And Crawford easily outboxed him. Dude way bigger than him. Then, we could also talk about big dudes like Ndongo or dudes like Jeff Horn. And I know a lot of people like to say Jeff Horn was a bum, but this is when it comes down to the science of fighting. We all know Marvelous Marvin Hagler. I'm gonna keep this real short because I know other people want to speak, but we all know Marvelous Marvin Hagler was, in my opinion, the greatest middleweight after Sugar Ray Robinson, in my opinion. And he fought someone named Juan Rodan. Now, Juan Rodan, the fight is easily accessible on YouTube. If you look at Juan Rodan, you wouldn't think, oh, he was from Argentina, he passed away. You wouldn't think, oh, this dude has skills, or you would think this dude was raw and rugged. But he was very, very unorthodox, like a Jeff Horn. And he gave Marvelous Hagler problems for like the first 5 or 6 rounds until Hagler figured him out in the 9th or 10th and knocked him out. Go back and watch that fight. And that same Juan Rodan, who people will look at and think didn't have skills, he hurt Tommy Hearns when they fought, until Hearns stopped them in the 4th round. My point is that herky-jerky style, when a person is coming in, it's hard to time that rhythm, the feet, and it's just a lot to deal with. But Bud was easily dealt with that with Jeff Horn, and that was his first fight at 147. And dude was much bigger than him, and Bud still handled him easily. So my point is that the size isn't going to matter. And Crawford he's felt out well at the weight. He was bigger than Sean Porter when he fought Sean Porter, and bigger than David Avenetian. So he has size as well. So that size isn't going to be a factor at all. Mark my words, brothers.
So you won't be one of the ones that will holler that when Errol Spence wins.
Now, because it's a nonsensical argument. It's nonsensical.
What was the reason why Errol Spence beat Mikey Garcia?
You said I think Mikey was just way too small, and he didn't fight back. He shelled up the whole fight, just like Ugas did.
So size mattered in that fight, right?
Yeah, but Mikey isn't nowhere near the size of Crawford in height or reach or length. Nothing that's not comparable, my brother.
It's a little bit, but the only reason why I'm using that as an example is because of size was a factor in that. So that you can't negate that in our argument, because you just applied size in the Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia fight. So size can matter at times. We just don't know that yet, right?
Yeah, that's a fact, bitch. My bad. I had to jump out and jump back in. Yeah, size can matter. I definitely believe it can. It mattered when Bo went up. Not Bo, when Holyfield went up against Bo. Size matter. But even though Holyfield did beat him one time, both sides overwhelmed him. So yeah, I feel you guys' point on that. But I don't think size will be a factor in this fight, man, because you got one guy who's been at this weight, constantly dropping this shit from 30 pounds and having fat camp. No diss, no shit like that. That he even said, but it's just you got one guy who was treating his body well, and the other guy, getting big in between fights. But still, enough to say that he still has the best motor, I feel, in boxing. But I don't think that size shit don't matter though, bro. These guys are broke coming in at 47. Spence may rehydrate a little bit, more than Bud, but I just don't
Mm-hmm.
feel like that size shit don't matter, bro. It's not gonna matter. Crawford been fighting bigger guys since he got into this division. There's only one guy who fought at a low division that he fought at welterweight, and that was Amir Khan. And Amir Khan went up to 54. So I just don't see that size shit being a problem like that. The main thing is it's been stronger than him. That's what I want to see.
So I got another example, D Young. What about Rigondeaux and Lomachenko? Was that if they were closer in natural size? Do you think Rigondeaux is the better overall skilled fighter than Lomachenko?
That's a good question, Bishop. I'm gonna say, uh, I don't know. That's a good question, bro. That's a good one. I mean, did it play a factor in that fight? I guess you could say, but it's just Rigondeaux really couldn't do nothing with Lomachenko. I don't think it was because of the size. I just think it was a skill thing. So yeah, I think if anything, it'd be more skill than size. I'd say that.
Hey, real quick, fellas. Hey, loyal to the game. If you want to come on the panel, you got to cut your camera on first. Okay, I got you, boss. Hey, fellas, we got loyal to the game coming to the panel. What's up, bro? Where you
What's good
from,
with
man?
you?
Good. Where you calling
What's
from?
good with you?
I'm from Brooklyn. I live in DC though.
Okay, shout out to Brooklyn, man. What you got on the topic, man? Spence versus Crawford.
I got Earl Spence stopping Terence Crawford in the 10th round. I think the ref gonna stop the fight. I mean the way I see it going down, to be honest, is Terence Crawford has a puncher's chance against Errol Spence based on like Errol Spence does get hit in between shots. Terence Crawford's a sharpshooter. So I think the telling sign is going to be, can Errol Spence take a clean shot from Terence Crawford? Because Terence Crawford is good at sharpshooting. But I truly believe the fight is going to go very similar to how Errol Spence and Kell Brook fight went. I think Terence Crawford's going to have some success boxing in the beginning of the fight. He's going to have moments, but I think the overall work rate and the size is going to wear Terence Crawford down in the later rounds, and I think the ref's going to stop the fight.
So you said it's going in the 10th round. You said it's going down.
Correct.
The referee gonna stop it. So you saying Bomac ain't gonna even have the energy to stand up on the turnbuckle and throw the Cheeto bag in the ring? Is that what you saying? The ref got to stop it,
I
man.
think,
Bomac can't throw the damn.
I think there's too much pride. I don't think Bomac wants to throw, especially not against Earl Spence. I don't think Bomac wants to throw the towel in. I think those. I mean, I gotta give Crawford, his props. He a warrior. I feel like kind of like Deontay Wilder. He's gonna go out on his shield. And I think I don't think that. I mean, unless he sits. We look at Terence Crawford sit down in the middle of a round, and you see a lot of punishment on him. That may be a way, but I just too much on the line. I think for Bomac to stop the fight. I think the ref is going to stop the fight.
Can I ask a brother a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, you mentioned Kell Brook. To me, it's no disrespect, but I don't really see how the two are comparable. First of all, Kell Brook has a 67-inch reach. That's one. Secondly, he's an orthodox fighter. That's two. Thirdly, he has no inside game. That's three. Fourthly, he can't fight off the back foot and create angles the way Bud does. That's four. So my point is that Kell Brook, you can always outwork Kell Brook because he has no inside game, and he really doesn't have work rate, and his defense isn't really that nice. And the thing is, so I keep hearing people mentioning Spence volume, but Bud, and I think we can. Well, first of all, let me ask the panel this: who do y'all consider the puncher out of this matchup?
So do you want me to answer your question, or do you want me to respond?
Hold on.
That's Spence.
1 second, lawyer. The puncher, if we talking about pure punching power, you have to say the guy who got the 100% KO rate at this. He's the pure puncher. I think now, who has more studying power? I would have to say Spence.
And the question is, can Bud stand up under that thud and power, man?
If Mikey could, why can't Bud?
Well, I think this is a part that a lot of Bud fans like to leave out, even though during this time process when this was going on, y'all called Errol Spence out on this. So a lot of Terence Crawford fans, when the Mikey Garcia fight was happening, when the Sean Porter fight was going down, you guys were saying how, he was a drunk, he was undisciplined. The guy, if you go take a look, and this is not an excuse, because I know you guys like to say it's an excuse, but we could just look at the facts. If you guys go take a look at the Udanis Ugas fight and look at Earl's physique in that fight, and you look at his physique against Mikey Garcia and against Sean Porter, it's clear to see that this guy was doing fat camps and he was drained. It was clear to see
I
that.
alluded to that.
It's clear to see that the guy was partying, he was undisciplined. He got in that car wreck 2 weeks after the Sean Porter fight. The dude was living super fast and he admitted to it. So if you guys really think the same guy who got there with Mikey Garcia is going to get in there with Terence Crawford, I mean, we're seeing pictures of the guy is already in shape. He's not going in there to drop 40, 50 pounds of training camp. He's got a nutritionist. And, we can say what we want about the Kell Brook fight and say, Kell Brook was injured before and now he broke his other eye socket. Well, Ugas ain't never had no broken eye socket. That's never happened to Ugas. Okay.
Hey, can we do a quick fact check real quick? Someone said they tried to, that was a great tactic by just limiting Terence Crawford's career to welterweight. But you're not allowed to do that, sir. It's not 100%. His career's knockout percentage is 76%. Earl's is 79%. So I think facts would say that Errol Spence is the harder puncher. We just wanted to do a quick fact check. Y'all
Fish. To the brother who mentioned that, to his credit, he did say at welterweight though, and I know you said we can't limit it. I know you said we can't limit it to welterweight, but I feel as though Bud been there for like the last 5-6 years. So I get what you're saying, but I think it would be fair to say that because he settled in at that weight. But I do get what you're saying, though.
I just wanted to give the proper context and fact check. I don't want anybody to believe that this guy has knocked out every fighter he's faced. That's all.
But we can agree to this though. We can agree that Bud has more knockouts than Spence has fights. We can agree to that, right?
Yeah,
he been fighting longer.
And we can also say that therefore it's more understandable why Terence Crawford's hand has been cast in to the Hall of Fame. He's 10 fights ahead of the road, so
right.
So that's all true. So we all on the same page. Go ahead.
Right. I mean, we got to remember when Terence Crawford decided to go professional, Errol Spence was going to the Olympics, and his career started about 4.5 years later than Terence Crawford. So, you gotta match all of that stuff up when they're even. I mean, that it just is what it is, man. This gonna be a great fight, and I don't think anyone's wrong in their assessment on who they're picking because, it's a matter of preference. I mean, both of these guys are great fighters. I just believe, this is my belief, right? If we look back at the Avanesian fight, I call it avocado, but we call it an Avanesian fight. Avanesian was a poorly skilled high guard guy who was landing shots on him in the beginning. He was getting in that range and allowing Terence Crawford allow him to get inside on him. Even Paulie Malignaggi was stating in his commentary that, man, at this range, he cannot allow Errol Spence to be in this range during that fight. All I'm saying is Terence Crawford, he's like Errol Spence is gonna make him fight. He's gonna make him fight, bro.
Hey, look, lawyer, not to cut you off, bro. We know that. Everybody on this channel knows at some point in the fight, there's gonna be a fight broken out, and we all know Bud don't back down from a fight, bro.
Right.
And when you talk about the Avanesian assessment about how he's saying, how Paulie said he let him in from close range, but we also gotta allude to this though, man. Terence Crawford might be one of the most accurate punchers in this game, bro. I didn't see the
I agree.
guy like I didn't see the guy come around a guard and knock out. You know, even though he wasn't the top quality guy, it's just the fact that you could come around a person's guard like that, bro. So that shit is unmatchable. So I mean, on the inside, you could favor Spence, though. But go ahead.
Can I
Yeah.
ask the brother a question? I
Let
want
me
to ask you, what's your name, bro?
Yeah. Who, me or Lloyd?
Now the one with the
loyal to the
picture with
game.
the.
You can say loyal to the game.
All right, loyal to the game. I want to ask you a quick minute. I don't want to ask you a question. I want to tell you something. So you said something that was very telling. You said Paulie said that he wondered how the fight to go with Spence because he got that close. Okay, that's I don't even think that's a good point because I don't respect nothing Paulie had to say. But my point is we all saw how that fight ended, bro. Bud ended that fight on the inside, so that negates that point. He ended it on the inside and put him to sleep.
Did you hear how I started my
No,
comment? I said that Avanesian is a more poorly skilled fighter. Avanesian is a guy who was knocked out by a guy that Bud knocked out. So we're not talking about an elite level fighter. When we're talking about Avanesian, there was no one who was in this chat that believed that Avanesian had half of a chance fighting Bud. So look, he got his knockout. No one's shocked about that.
yeah,
But
inside knockout and
but
put him to
but
sleep.
yeah, he did. But this is not an Olympian. This is not an elite level fighter. And then also what you have to realize too, because I don't know if it was you or someone else said something to the effect of, like Bud punching around people's guard. Spence has broken people through their guard. Watch the Lamont Peterson fight. Lamont Peterson fought with a high guard. He punched and broke him down through his guard. Watch the Algieri fight. And that's what's going to be telling. I'm not saying that Chris Algieri is Terence Crawford at skill level at all, but what we have to do is look at the frame of a man and the frame of a human being. And Chris Algieri is also a guy who moved up in weight. He moved up from 140 to 147. Terence Crawford is physically a smaller human being, honestly, than Errol Spence. It's just biology. He's a smaller guy.
Julian Williams was smaller than Jared Hurd, and we saw what Julian Williams did to him.
Jared Hurd is a punching bag, and we all know that. We can't compare Jared Hurd to Errol Spence.
Spence is a punching bag as well, my brother.
How can Spence be a punching bag when both of these guys plus minus percentage is close to the same?
Did you see what
punching bag? The only fight that you could say that you saw damage on Errol Spence was against Sean Porter. That's the only fight that you could say that. We saw Terence Crawford against Kell Brook not be able to defend a jab out of the orthodox position. He had to switch southpaw. He took damage in 3 rounds as I was about to close. So no fighter is Floyd. None of these guys are Floyd on defense. But none of these guys are punching bags. Earl's not a punching bag, and neither is Bud Crawford. So let's not say someone's a punching bag because he's not.
All right, 1 second, brother. 1 second. All right, so the thing is, right? The thing is that now we seen Terence Crawford take punishment from Kell Brook, and I hear a lot of Errol Spence fans like to mention that. But for Terence Crawford to lose 3 rounds or 4 rounds, that's typical for him. The same thing happened to him with Gamboa. The same thing happened to him with Kavalauskas. He lost early rounds. The same thing was happening to him with Delorme. He lost early rounds. That always happens with Crawford.
Do you think he can afford to do that against Spence?
Yes. The reason why I think he can afford to do that against Spence because Spence has one base style. What a lot of guys don't like and I'm gonna keep it short because I know other brothers want to speak. But what a lot of people don't like to mention about Gamboa is that Gamboa was a gold medalist. Juan Diaz was a gold medalist. Gamboa actually had levels to his game. Spence is this is what I like about Spence quickly. I like Spence work rate. I like his determination. And I like his body work, but his shots are literally the same shots for the most part. He doesn't switch the range or the trajectory on his shots. Bud is going to adjust. It's nothing for Bud to adjust to. So my point is the reason why I think Crawford can give rounds away because Spence has one base style. And it's not me saying this. This is Hall of Famers that actually been in the ring and accomplished stuff saying I'm just a guy on the panel. But my point is yes, he can. But Bud, this is my whole point. Bud always gives early rounds away and get punished We see that, but he always adjusts. Let's look at how he ends the fight. That's my point, basically.
Well, also, no disrespect, because Terence Crawford is not a matchmaker, but also none of those guys that he's done that to has been an elite level fighter. And when you bring
That's
up
not true. Oh my goodness.
when you bring up Yorkis Gamboa, one of the things you don't bring up is that was Gamboa's first fight in that weight class, and then secondly, that was Gamboa coming off a super long layoff.
I gotta interrupt you. I could pull up a Big Fish. You still in here, Big Fish?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah,
To
we
y'all.
see
Go
him.
ahead.
See, I got my phone on me. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if anybody in here can go to BoxRec, because I'm on my phone. My other phone is dead. So if you go to BoxRec and you look at when Gamboa fought Terence Crawford, before he fought Terence Crawford, Gamboa had 2 fights at lightweight. And anybody can easily assess that. So that's not true, bro. He fought 2 fights at 135 before he fought Crawford.
Can we pull
He
up the
didn't just
box
hop up
rack?
there.
Yeah, I think that is true. I can't look it up because I'm driving right now. But
Hold on one second, fellas. We're gonna try to look it up.
Go ahead.
All right,
You look it up for us.
Yeah, y'all go ahead, chop it up. I'll
We
see what I
also,
can do.
as I said, we also know he came off Gamboa.
No.
Also came off.
Hold on, bro. You have to acknowledge that. Please don't try to admit
Well,
that and skip
the
over that.
brothers are looking up. They're looking it up. So once they bring it up, we can acknowledge it.
Okay. My bad.
I'm just going to my.
Y'all both made points. I mean, to both y'all credit. Yeah, Gamboa did come off a long layoff, but to say he came off that layoff, man, he still was sharp. He still was quick, and he still gave Terence Crawford one of the hardest fights to this day. You know what I mean? I don't think he had a harder fight, and we can say the same about Spence with Porter. Porter was his hardest fight. So I think both these guys have went through some adversity. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But go ahead.
I truly think Kell Brook was Spence's hardest fight, because, and the reason I say that is because against Kell Brook, Spence was at his best, and he was giving problems. Against Sean Porter, Spence wasn't at his best.
But to that credit though, Spence was coming off of what, like a year layoff on that fight too.
These dudes always come off of layoffs, though. They both been inactive as hell. Mostly every top fighter is inactive, except for Canelo. That's just boxing today.
It wasn't too long of a layoff. He fought Mikey Garcia and then he fought him. It wasn't that long of a layoff.
No, when Terence Crawford fought Porter, he was coming off of a year layoff.
Oh, you're talking about Bud. Okay.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying most top fighters nowadays, outside of Canelo, they only fight like once a year. Usyk been fighting like once a year for like the last few years. Fury been fighting maybe once or twice. They're all inactive for the most part. So inactivity, I really can't say it's a thing because mostly all these fighters. When the last time Jamal Charlo even fought? Jamel Charlo only fought once. He didn't even fight this year at all. Benavidez last year fought one time a year. So mostly all these fighters are fighting once a year, if that.
Yeah.
Hey,
we can't use that as an excuse.
Can y'all see the screen? Box
no
rack?
doubt. Yeah.
All right. So where are we going?
So Gamboa, I wonder is that Gamboa's box rack?
Yeah, that's Gamboa.
I don't see.
Right. So if you go down before he fought Crawford, it'll show you that he had, because the brother said that was his first fight at lightweight, and he fought twice at that weight at lightweight before fighting Crawford. So I just want to prove my point on that. So you'll probably, when was that fight with Gamboa? 2013, 2014?
Can y'all see that?
Nah, it's not up yet. Well, not for me anyway. Let me see.
All right, let me see. So you see where it say WBA WBA interim lightweight against Richard.
Against Richard the Curfew. That was interim world lightweight.
Yeah, 135. So the brother said that was his first fight at 135. That's not true. He had 2 fights there.
I stand corrected.
No problem at all, my brother.
But I think you did make a couple points about like the comparison. I think when I brought up how the fight was going to go in a way I felt it was going to go in the same rhythm of the Kell Brook fight, you brought up some comparisons. And I'm not stating that Kell Brook and Terence Crawford fight the same way. What I'm stating is that Kell Brook had success. Well, one of the things that Kell Brook did very well in the beginning of that fight was he kind of took Errol Spence's jab away in the beginning. He was countering Spence over his jab a lot with his jab. Just the same way Kell people don't give Kell Brook a lot of credit for how great his jab is. Just the same way he was timing Bud with his jab, he took a lot because Spence, we all know his jab is a big part of his offense, and he sets up a lot of punches off his jab. And he had a lot of success in the beginning of the fight if you sit and watch the film. And Spence made adjustments to that, even though you guys think he only fight one way, which isn't true. He made adjustments. He made adjustments to that and wore the guy down over the course of the fight. So I just think that the rhythm of the fight is going to be similar to that. However, Bud dominates or has advantages in the beginning of the fight with certain boxing skills that he has, I think he's going to get some stuff off. I'm just telling y'all the telling sign in this fight is going to be when Bud Crawford catches Spence with something clean, how Spence reacts to it. Because if he doesn't, if Bud Crawford does not hurt Errol Spence with clean shots, he's going to take a lot of punishment. He's going to take a lot. No matter what you say, he's going to take punishment, and the type of punishment Errol Spence dishes out is the type of punishment that you guys believe people stand in front of him and take punishment. But it's like Van Herden said, you see the punches coming, but physically you can't get out of the way or do nothing because of the punishment you took.
That's also a Van Herden who doesn't have no footwork at all. He literally stands in front of people. Let me calm down. Every person he fights, he literally just watch his fights. He stands in front of him with a high guard. You're referencing people who don't have the foot movement of a Bud Crawford, though. These dudes are flat-footed fighters.
Bud Crawford hasn't used footwork like that in the longest. And
in the David Avenesian fight he did, my brother.
In that fight. But David Avenesian also doesn't have Errol Spence's footwork on offense either. Errol
Spence doesn't have any footwork.
Bro, Errol Spence has some of the best footwork on offense and cutting off the ring.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
It's decent, bro. I'll say this. It's decent. He does have good. I think he has a first quick step to close that distance. Yeah, I'm not going to say the best, but he is decent.
Errol Spence has great fundamental footwork to cut off the ring and marry you and keep you in front of him.
Hey fellas, let's take a pause real quick. We got a new guest on the line. Hey, Jay Cooley, what's going on, man? Good to have you back.
Already, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Jay Cooley.
Where you at right now, Jay Cooley? Where you calling from?
No, I'm calling from Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska. Okay.
Hey,
I'm at work right now.
Let's take a guess who you going for.
Man down, Spence. Errol Spence.
Okay, go ahead and pop what you got to say, Jay Cooley. What you got on the Spence and Crawford fight? Who you got winning the fight? Break it down for us.
I got Earl winning. If Bud start off too fucking slow and give up 4 rounds, he lost. He can't come back. Ain't no way he gonna come back. He needs to start off fast. And the only thing I think Earl need to worry about is Bud step back uppercut. That motherfucker throw that shit so perfect. Now that shot right there can hurt Spence, either through the body or in the chin. Now if you watch out for that, Bud ain't got nothing to do. He can't do nothing. Because Earl gonna cut the ring off for him. He ain't gonna be able to move. He gonna have to move 12 rounds, 36 minutes. He ain't gonna be able to do that.
Damn. It's coming out of Omaha. Shit.
Jay Cooley, can I ask you a question, my brother? Do you think, hitting on a few topics earlier, do you feel that these Bud buddies owe Errol Spence an apology, man?
I don't think they owe him nothing. I don't think they owe him nothing. They don't need to give him no respect or nothing. But they will respect that man after the fight.
The reason why I'm gonna respect them win or lose, because he took the fight. But if anybody deserves an apology, it's Terence Crawford. And I'm going to tell y'all why. The reason I've never seen a fighter get trolled on his Twitter or his Instagram or his YouTube videos as much as Terence Crawford has been trolled from Errol Spence fans. They've been calling this man a duck for the last 5 months, a coward. He's in Thailand. Hey, I love being in Thailand with my family. Yeah, whatever. Fight Spence. Yeah, whatever. You duck. Yeah, whatever you this. Not only did Terence Crawford take the fight, but Terence Crawford assured, and Errol Spence, he assured as well. They both assured that they got guarantees. But the thing is, Spence was not trolled to the extent that Terence Crawford was. So Crawford is owing an apology, in my opinion.
Can I come back with my rebuttal on that?
No problem, my brother.
Then I have a
Now, y'all been calling Earl a scared duck, a drunk, all that shit for 5 fucking years. 5 years. And y'all get pissed in the pants because we called this nigga a duck because he walked out of a fucking no negotiation for 5 months? Earl could have fought anybody, but what he done? He said, no, I'm sitting my ass out and wait for Bud. So Earl made the fucking fight. Bud ain't do shit. I don't owe Bud shit.
I just gave Spence credit for that. But we also had to give Crawford credit as well for taking the fight, because a scared duck coward who never fought nobody and is scared of the challenge, this is what a lot of Spence fans were saying. He disproved that by taking the fight. It's no rebuttal to that. It's true because the fight is signed. So he needs. I came on here a couple days ago. Brothers probably don't remember, but the first thing I said when I got in open panel was I wanted to recant my words on Spence for saying that he was a coward and he was scared. I admitted I was wrong about that. But on the contrary, we were also, y'all were also wrong for calling this man a coward and a duck because he's taking the fight. So can you concede to that, my brother?
Nope.
Wow.
I would not apologize for shit for Bud Crawford. On the strength of his fucking fans. No, I would not.
No problem.
Let me interject this real quick, because, outside of the obvious, been being falsely labeled as a duck for years, I'm hearing this new narrative of, Errol Spence is healing too quick from these injuries. Oh, he must be on PEDs. Oh, he on fat camp. He's taking Federal to trim weight. He's doing illegal Victor Conte, whoop, whoop. But yet not one time Errol Spence has ever tested dirty. Not one time has Errol Spence ever missed weight. But yet, for many years, we keep hearing these bullshit labels and titles being placed upon this man that's never done nothing but what he say he gonna do, man. But
I don't think that came from Bud fans.
Oh, what you mean it ain't?
Bernie the boss say this shit every time he get on the goddamn internet. Come on,
the Bud fans. Come on, man. That's how
y'all been trolling ever since motherfucker Mikey Garcia.
It goes both ways.
Nah, that's not at all. But come on, y'all. Y'all serious? Are y'all serious?
We serious. Now the fight here, y'all want to get all soft and shit.
Listen, bro. Getting soft.
He dropped him. Oh, my bad. I'm watching the Catterall and Foley fight. He just dropped him again.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Lee Ward and them fighting today.
Catterall already got a point taken away from him on the 6th and the 7th round. They fight real dirty. But
that's on the War Lover card?
Yeah. It's the co-main right now.
Oh, yeah. But my thing is, man, Errol Spence, you go to any Errol Spence videos that he was uploading and all that, he wasn't getting trolled to the extent that Bud was, bro. Come on. He definitely was. He was getting trolled, but not to the extent Bud was. Like, Spence fans, some of the over-top Spence fans been going crazy on Bud. If you look at when they had that press conference against David Evanesian, majority of the comments was comprised by disgruntled Spence fans, bro. Most of the comments was. Like, these dudes just been over the top. And honestly, I'm going to say I don't even really see, and this is no bias stuff, but when it comes to mentality They both have mentality, no doubt about it. They both got the killer mentality. But when they come to skills, level, and power, Spence doesn't compare, bro. He just doesn't. And it's not me saying it. It's top level fighters saying it. You can't argue with James Toney, bro, who done it at the highest level. You can't argue with Sugar Ray Leonard, who done it at the highest level. Canelo, who done it at the highest level. Golovkin, who done it at the highest level. Sean Porter and Kell Brook, who fought both of them, both picked Bud. It's a reason behind that, my brothers. They've been in the ring with him.
And hold on, watch this.
Yeah. And all of them thought they could swim until they got in them deep water too.
Hey, hold on, fellas. I just want to give everybody that's coming on. If you click the link, please, the panel etiquette, please, and make sure you don't mention any other channels per network creator. So let's make sure we respect that rule, fellas. Go ahead and continue, Jay Cooley.
Now hold on, folks. Jay Cooley, take off. I just got to address this. You cooking and all, but when you say James Toney, it's hard for me to take James Toney serious. This is the same James Toney that done picked everybody against Errol Spence. So when you say that it's a reason, oh yes, it is. It's a reason indeed, because James Toney, for the artist reason, do not like Errol Spence. So I can't put much credit up in it when he already done picked against Errol Spence, against Porter, Danny Garcia. This is documented, well known. That's not a good one for me, not James Toney.
Yeah, I named 5 other people too, and I can name 5 more.
I mean, that all sounds good now, but like I say, man, matter of days, the truth gonna be told. And like I say, when Errol Spence dominates Buddy in that ring, I just want y'all to give that man his props. Don't make up no excuses. Don't come up with no conspiracy theories. Don't come up with he was too small. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit, because you and the rest of the Bud Nation talk about how great this man is. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. So all I'm saying is, when Errol Spence pulled this off in dominating fashion, because I look for him to dominate Terence Bud Crawford. I see something totally different from what y'all see. But hey, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
I could be wrong, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, okay, the James Toney thing, I'll give you that. But like I said, I name other people. And we not going to know till they get in the ring. But the thing is, though, with Errol Spence, bro, when you look at Errol Spence fight, and I'm just saying this is an unbiased, objective fight fan, bro, because if I've called it wrong before. I've gotten fights wrong plenty of times, and I've gotten fights right plenty of times, and I'll be wrong in the future, of course, because none of us are always right. But when you just look at the styles, bro, when you sit there and fight Errol Spence, he's not like a real pressure fighter like a Joe Frazier, that if you stop, he's going to be in your chest, or like a Julio Cesar Chavez, if you stop, he's going to be in your chest, or like a Golovkin, if you stop, he's going to be in your chest. He comes forward on his terms, but when you stand there and fight with him, he stops in his tracks, and a lot of time he shells up, and if you put pressure on him, he backs up, a la Sean Porter, a la Ugas. And you know what's crazy about the Ugas fight? A lot of people don't like to mention this, but I was watching, because this is what I've been doing lately. I've been alternating between Spence and Crawford fights just to pick up little nuances they do. And I was watching the Spence and Ugas fight. And when Ugas was fighting him in the 5th round, before Ugas ever got hurt, bro, he literally let Spence well on him without throwing a punch for 23 seconds. I counted it. So this is my question to the panel. This is my question to everybody on here. Do y'all really think, from watching Bud previous fights, that he's going to sit there and let Spence pound on him without throwing nothing back? Do y'all think he's going to do that?
He can't do that.
He can't do that.
It depends on what round. It depends on what round. Because if you don't swing, Bud ain't gonna swing. To be honest.
Nah, but Bud leads.
Yeah, look at his fight. If you don't fight Bud is not gonna fight.
That's not true. I'm about to disprove you right now. When Bud got knocked down. All right, I'm about to disprove you right now. When Bud got knocked down, yes, I said it for all the Bud fans. I'm saying it right now because I'm unbiased and I'm objective. Yes, Kavalauskas dropped Bud. I'll give all the Spitz fans that he dropped him. That should have been a knockdown. But what happened after that? When he got up, He led the whole fight. Literally, he initiated the offense until we stopped him. So you can't say he don't swing unless you swing when he literally went to go get the guy. Secondly, when he fought David Avanesian, y'all can say whatever y'all want about Avanesian, but when he was fighting when he was fighting Avanesian, he was, dancing around, moving around. But around the 5th and the 6th round, he started leading. Every time Crawford fights somebody, except the postal fight. But outside of that, every time Crawford fights somebody, he moves around, he gets the cadence of his opponent, and he start leading. So to say that he won't swing unless you swing is asinine, because the first knockdown he got off of Sean Porter, it was him leading, backing Sean Porter up. So he always leads, my brother.
Hey, fellas, hey, Jay Cooley, time out. Hey, I got a question for y'all. I want to see.
Ooh, he's cold Catterall.
Hey, I want to see how everybody play it down the middle. So, Dre, I want you first. What is the most? You can pick it, whoever you want to go first with. What's the most impressed you've ever been with Errol Spence in the fight? And what's the most impressed you've ever been with Terence Crawford in the fight? Can you give me your feedback on that? Then after you, please, Jay Cooley, you next. And then Q, I want you to, all three of y'all to answer that question.
Okay, so you mean in terms of impress off a single performance?
Just like, man, yeah, single performance. Like, man, this dude is real nice. Have you ever said that? I know you said that about Crawford, but have you said that about Spence? And give me the fight that made you say that for both fighters.
Well, the fight that I said it about Spence, even though I thought he lost, and I know y'all going to disagree with me. But what I was impressed about Spence in the Porter fight was in the last 11th and 12th round, how he was just able to turn it up the way he turned it up. Now, he didn't turn it up with a lot of nuances, but just for him to still be able to stand there and throw all those punches after Porter was just pounding his arms and his elbows and his body and turning them and spinning them, for him to still have that much stamina, that much dog, that much will and determination, I was like, yo, this dude is really a monster. He really is. So that's what that performance, because a lot of times when Sean Porter fight guys, man, it's just so much work. He just outworks a guy to the point where, Keith Thurman fought him, and, Keith Thurman, I thought that was a draw. But anyway, Keith Thurman had to move around sometimes, had to literally just grab and rest and all that. Errol Spence was under all that distress and still came out strong those last 2 rounds. So that's when I knew Spence was truly a beast. And he did it against a fighter that was a beast. Now, Terence Crawford, that's hard, bro, because I would say the Sean Porter fight. Because, and this is something I want to say to the panel real quickly. I'm going to make this quick because I know other brothers want to speak. A lot of people say that Sean Porter was out the way, was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. A lot of people say that Sean Porter wasn't the same Sean Porter, but those weren't the same sentiments being echoed before the fight. When the WBO, I'm not going to announce no channels, but I will say this: when the WBO said that they was going to make Porter his mandatory, there were people on various places and comments saying, "Oh, Bud's not going to take this fight. Bud's going to duck the fight. Bud going to find a reason to get out of this fight." And Bud took the fight, and then when he stopped them, everybody's narrative changed. So that's just interesting. But anyway, the reason why I was so impressed with Crawford, and I'm always impressed with him, was because Crawford was really the only one to be able to take Sean Porter out of his game. And Sean Porter admitted that by using, nice turns, good footwork, and being extremely physical. And he was the only one to stop Sean Porter, period. So that I would say that was the most impressive performance, that and Gamboa, and that's what I got, my brothers.
Okay, I appreciate that feedback. Hey, Jay Cooley, before I go to you, man, we got a new person on the panel. Runs the Sandwich. What's going on, bro? Where you from?
Lincoln, Nebraska.
What's going on, bro? We just introduced a new question, so I want you to just give your overall take on the fight between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. But we asked the question: when were you the most impressed with Errol Spence? What fight? And the same question for Terence Crawford. Can you answer that question for us, please?
Errol Spence, I would say Ugas fight. Just the fact that he got stunned. He kind of faced some adversity, and he stood up to it. So I give Spence his credit. Crawford, I'm gonna say same as the other man that was just speaking. The Porter fight. Well, that's his toughest opponent that he's had. We know that Spence and Crawford both. This fight is going to be both of their biggest challenge. Both fighters are real good, but and I'm just not me being biased, being from Nebraska, but Bud's just on a different level, I think, than Spence. But it will be Bud's biggest competition, man. It's gonna be his biggest competition, but he's gonna win. He's just a better fighter,
So when were you the most impressed? What for Terence Crawford? What fight?
I'm gonna say the Porter fight. I mean, just because that was his biggest competition, man. Like that's his toughest opponent, in my opinion, and he handled that man. And all this Porter 1 foot in, 1 foot out stuff is nonsense, man. Porter came and fought a good fight. He didn't look 1 foot in, 1 foot out to me. He looked all the way in. He came in. He fought well in the beginning of the fight. Bud do all the rest of these dudes. When he figure you out, it's over. And that's the same thing he did to Porter. But I still think, I'm going off of who the best opponent was. I feel Porter was his best opponent. And he handled him. So that's why I was most impressed with that. And like I said, as far as Spence goes, it's probably Ugas' fight, just because for a second there, I think everybody, all you Spence fans, and everybody was holding their breath. It looked like he was in trouble. And he showed, he fought through the adversity. And, he did his thing. So I ain't no Spence hater, nothing like that. I just know that man, he ain't ready, man. He's not as good of a fighter. There's levels to it.
So what's your prediction for the fight? What round? I know Terence Crawford is going to win in your mind. So what round? Knockout, decision? What you got?
I mean, if it's a knockout, it'll be late rounds, But it depends. It depends if Errol stands in there, he gonna get knocked out. Once Bud turns it up, the later rounds, I can't tell you which round, but yeah, Spence gonna probably win the first. He gonna win early, a couple rounds, and Crawford gonna figure him out. It'll probably be a knockout. I think Spence got too much heart to run, so it'll probably end up being a knockout.
Can I say something to Big Fish real quick?
Go ahead, boss.
Hey, Big Fish, man, I'll make this real quick, man. I'm serious when I say this, bro. I sincerely want to thank you for being level-headed and objective, because I've been on other places where, people who've been Spence fans and just been muted, disrespected, kicked out and all that. And you've been nothing but a hospitable host. So I really want to thank you for that, my brother.
Oh, yeah, no problem, bro. I appreciate you for tuning in, man. Hey, but go ahead, Ronzo, finish what you got to say before we pass the mosquito spray.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all I got, man. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I really ain't got much more at the time. You can go ahead the next man.
I bet. Okay, we appreciate you, man, for calling in, bro. Hey,
all
mosquito spray, the AKA Eddie Atlas, AKA pound for pound. What you got, Q?
Number 4.
Bud Buddy. What's going on, boss? What you got on the fight? I know you got a whole lot to say. What you got, boss?
What's that, man? So what you want first? What happened in the fight?
Hey man, you got as much time as you want, boss. You know what time it is. You are the
Okay, as far as
historian of the show, the resident expert. Go ahead, boss.
I appreciate it. Yeah, as far as the fight goes, man, I just think Crawford got too many dimensions, man. And like I said, Mayweather 1 or 2 rounds, Crawford 3 to 4 rounds, Canelo 5 to 6 rounds. That's the number of rounds it take them to set their distance of timing. And once that happens, the fight is over. This will be no different. You know what I'm saying? Once Crawford sets that distance of timing, this fight will be over with. And I think he gonna pick. I don't think he's just gonna, land just some one big punch and Spence gonna fall out or nothing like that. I think it'll be an accumulation because Spence is a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? And he does what he does in a highly skilled way. He's just not some caveman like your boy Triple G. You know what I'm saying? But I think Crawford gonna be the wise thing to do is to turn him. You know what I'm saying? With lateral movement, half steps back and just walk him in the shots here and there. Spencer front foot heavy trying to get to you, man. Just an accumulation, man, and eventually that tree will get chopped down. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it'll be too much. Too many big shots Spencer can get caught with, man, because he's there. Even in the Ugas fight, you can see Ugas putting them in position, but just not throwing the shots for whatever reason. And so I think I got Crawford taking that fight. Either a stoppage or maybe a 9-3, 8-4 decision. If Spence can take them shots all night or whatever. And as far as the most impressive fight, I'll go Spence first I think because of the magnitude of the fight, the unknown and the storm he weathered in the fights. I have to go with the Kell Brooks fight. I had Spence down about 4-2 after 6 rounds. The way he battled back, I understand Brooks was coming off of his other eye socket being broken by Triple G and all that, but I still give him credit for the win. He went over there in a hostile territory, you know what I'm saying, and was faced adversity. Was down on the card. Was getting Brooks was getting the better of the work for a little while, and Spence battled back and wore him down and got him out of there. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was impressive at the time. Since then, I haven't been more impressed with him since, in a fight, more so than that one. And then with Crawford, I'd have to say the Porter fight. The way he was able to do something to Porter that I haven't seen anybody do to him. You know what I'm saying? Make him a little less active than he's been in fights. Make him, uncomfortable at times. Turn him with ease the way he was able to turn him, and just make Porter have to think in there, not just be able to, force you to change what you're doing like he does most guys. You know what I'm saying? And the fashion with which he got him out of there, man. That first shot, to put him down, and that second one, that second combination. You know what I'm saying? It was just, he did something that ain't been done or whatever. You call Porter the old man or say he was half retired and Kenny was doing this and saying that, don't matter. We got to go with what happened in the ring. So I was, and that was, this was the one, the Earl sections were like, hey, a lot of people still was picking Porter to, they only gonna say it now, but they were picking Porter to beat Crawford. Like, he fighting the real one now, he fighting the real one. And of course the gold post got moved afterwards, but that was Crawford's most impressive performance to me. So, as far as them two things go, that's all I got, man. Where I stand on the fight, Big Fish. It ain't no question. You already know, man.
So is that all you got on that? I got a lot of questions for you in the open panel, but I want to get to Jay Cooley and the right brother Q. What you got on that question, Jay Cooley? What was the most impressive performance for Spence and Crawford you've seen?
Spence, I'm gonna go with Lamont Peterson. I like the way both them boys banged out and shit. They weren't going in. Earl just showed more dog than he was taking shots and he was giving them motherfuckers. He eventually stopped at that. And for Bud, I'm gonna say Jeff Horn fight. Because that man was moving with 3-hit combinations, left, right, back, forward. I'm talking about like motherfuckers controlling his ass with a joystick. Bud was doing that shit on Jeff Horn. That was impressive with me. But after that, I ain't seen shit. And I never thought Sean Porter was gonna beat Bud. Because every time Sean Porter stepped up to a good fight, he loses. So all that shit about we knew Bud was gonna get his ass. Now we know Bud fighting a motherfucker that's right there with him. Let's see what's up now. It's over with now. The fight is here. It's wartime. Let's go. And we're going to keep talking shit to Bud fans because y'all going to keep talking shit to us until July 29th. And y'all going to respect Spence after that fight. And I'm done with that.
All right, Q, it's on you, boss. Same question. Who you got?
I'm going to say with Spence, I'm going to have to say the Kell Brook fight just because he was in hostile environment and he battled his way back and made that man take a knee in his own backyard. So I'm going to have to say, hands down, the Kell Brook fight for me. As for Bud, the only fight I can say is the only fight anybody can say, and that's the Porter fight. Because I couldn't be impressed with those other exhibitions that he didn't have prior. I wasn't impressed, still ain't impressed. As far as, you know, people talking about, you know, 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door, we cannot discredit the fact that the man own daddy said this here. I don't care what none of you buddies say. His daddy know him way better than one of you niggas know him.
Cut your camera on,
and if his daddy said that he was 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door, hey man, I gotta pay attention to that, man. That's
His dad never said that.
His dad did say that. His dad did say that. His dad said that he knew he was going to throw in the towel because Sean already told him that he was retiring one way or another. His daddy said that. Go back to the interview, my brother.
And Porter said the same thing on the Fight Hype video, that when he was going into the Spence fight, he was contemplating retirement. It's the same exact thing, my brother.
Porter, I'm going to tell you something. Kenny Porter already said, watered that fight down. Kenny Porter been done that.
Porter said the Crawford was hands down a harder fight than Spence was.
No. Not only did he say that, but he said Terence Crawford was the most skillful fighter he's ever been in the ring with, period. That's what he said as well.
He hates Spence.
And Porter also said that and Sean Porter also said that Spence hit harder than Bud.
Yeah,
he
no
also
doubt.
said that as well.
I agree. He did. Yeah, he did.
You know,
you're right.
that goes both ways, my brother. You know, that's
hit harder and fight better, two different things. Hell, you can hit harder and not be the better fighter. We see that all the time.
You know what? Like,
respect Spence after this fight. I'm telling you, this fight is not gonna go the way y'all think it's gonna go.
I'm gonna respect him, period.
Man, this is gonna be a one-sided beatdown, man. He finna beat the brakes out of Bud, man. That man telling y'all straight up, say, man, I am.
This man sought out a whole. This man sought out. He sought out. He let Bud go fight another fight. He didn't want to fight nobody but Bud. He sent out for this fight. This man finna beat the fuck out of Bud.
Hey, I know whoever.
Hey, yo, why
that is talking, saying it's gonna be a one-sided fight? I guarantee you got your whole house on it. You put your house on it. I mean, one-sided fight. Beat down. You gotta have your house on it.
I mean, why would I put my house on it? Come on, man. I'm not a
one-sided beat down.
Hey, yo, I don't understand how a 3-weight world champion, undisputed and won, Ring Magazine, 2-time Ring Magazine champion, never fought. I mean, only fought in all exhibitions. Like that doesn't make any sense. Do anybody know who Victor Postal was? Anybody know that man?
Who was it?
Hey, Dre.
Hey, and we also seen that fight with Bud too. Bud just danced around him, man. He just danced.
Hey, y'all talking over each other. I can't hear. Y'all talking over each other.
Hey, we got a new guest coming in, man. Let's let him get his 5 minutes to say what he got to say. Green. What's going on, man? Where you calling from?
Oh, this Green. Shout out to you, man. What's up, Big Fish? What's up, Q? What's up with y'all brothers?
What's going on, Green? Where
What's
you
going
at
with you, Green?
Man, the time is here, man. July 29th, man. We dying in hell, baby. I can't wait. Man, it's crazy, man. The promotion, everything has been great. I'm gonna start off saying this. The PBC that now stands for Premier Bud Crawford. That's what those initials stand for now. The PBC
I like that. I like that.
That's a good one. That's a really
that
good
stands
one.
for Premier Bud Crawford. He is a PBC fighter now. He's the best thing they had in their stable since Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Yes,
Mm,
sir.
Mm,
mm,
We here
mm,
mm.
we
mm.
here now, fellas.
Too bad he finna get his ass beat for his
Let
first debut, huh?
let him finish.
No, no.
Let him
God
finish.
damn.
Let
First
him finish.
debut and they gonna feed him to spit?
Hey, let
Green,
Green
green,
cook, fellas. Let Green
green, green.
cook.
Finish elaborating on it, my brother. Keep talking.
Yeah, we got a 2-fight deal. We take Errol out first, get his rematch before the end of the year. Then we go for 154. Hopefully the Spence camp they get their coaching logistics together because we don't want to hear nothing in the media. We don't want no discrepancies about that between Lil Charlo and Spence and all that. So hopefully Lil Charlo go ahead and find out who he gonna have represent him, whatever the case may be, But like I said, Bud, he the best thing smoking on the PBC since Floyd Mayweather Jr. We got Bud, he got ESPN. You feel what I'm saying? Like you got a PBC fighter now that's being featured on ESPN like he's still with Top Rank. You can't make it up, man. The whole business movement, everything leading up to this is beautiful, it's special, and it's destiny, man. And it was meant to be. He was meant to come to 147-pound division and destroy Errol Spence. It was supposed to be Keith
Ooh,
Thurman.
can I cook his ass, Big Fish? Can I get him,
He
please?
he was
Can I
he
No, let
get
him
him?
he
finish cooking. Let him finish
it was
cooking.
supposed to be Keith Thurman, but Keith Thurman he didn't stand the tide. Errol stood the tide, and we respect the big fish for that. We respect Errol for being a man of his word and saying he wasn't gonna fight Keith Thurman. We respect him for honoring that handshake that he made back there. I don't know if they was in Oklahoma. I thought they was in Dallas, but yeah, I don't know wherever it was with that
Homer.
that legendary interview with
At the
Ellie Setback.
Maurice Hooker fight.
Yeah, at the Maurice Hooker fight, wherever that legendary interview was backstage on Ellie Setback. We respect Errol for shaking that man's hand and honoring his word. Now he's got to go in there and see why he waited to go last. Because it's going to be a one-sided fight. There's absolutely nothing in Errol Spence's arsenal that he can do to negate what's going to happen to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jay. Hey, Jay Cooler.
If he jabs at Bud while he's in the southpaw position, he's going to get countered with an overhand. And
Ooh!
I can give you, and if you need visual footage of this happening, I challenge you to go back and fight and watch the Errol Spence versus Ike Larte fight. Two southpaws. He punched Errol in his liver, and then he hit him with a right hook that came from the depths of hell. Errol was able to withstand it. Then he was young, in shape, whatever the case may be. Now, an older Errol Spence, you feel what I'm saying, coming off a little bit of inactivity, but nonetheless, we going in there. And just like my boy Bud said, if they had to fight next week, he already on weight. He ready right now. He moved his camp to Vegas. He already out there jogging and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Jogging by doing he doing what he doing Floyd. He doing what Floyd do. He doing what Floyd doing in Vegas right now. Literally as we speak. When Floyd out there in Vegas, he jogging around, wise hot, waving to everybody and shit. That's what Bud doing right now. You feel what I'm saying? The respect, the level, the caliber of the fighter that he is. Now he's gonna get his due, his just due, the recognition that he deserves at the illustrious age of 35 or about to turn 36. And this right here is a testament to any man that lets them know that as you get older, your prime, you can extend it as long as you take care of yourself and you stay dedicated to your principles. But I'm picking Bud Crawford to stop Errol Spence in the 7th or 8th round by a violent stoppage. Not not not
Uh-huh.
a
Okay,
not,
fellas.
not a
Fellas,
regular
hold on,
stoppage,
fellas.
a violent stoppage. Now,
Oh, okay.
I'm,
Green.
let me answer the host question real quick, and then I'm gonna pass the then I'm gonna be quiet. Errol's best win to me was Danny Garcia after the car crash. Him to go out there and perform like that and keep that pace, that was great for him to do after coming back and experiencing what he experienced. But I'm gonna say the Victor Postel fight, because he boxed Victor Postel, and Victor Postel was feared at 140 pounds. He had people taking step aside money not to fight him, and he had people offering step aside money not to fight him, and he had people vacating their titles because they didn't want to fight him. So I'm gonna say Victor Postel, and that's my cook.
Okay, Green. Jay Cooley want to give you a wedgie and throw you out the ring, but before y'all get that smoke, I just scanned the box rec. I ain't see nobody like Errol Spence on that box rec that Terence Crawford got, man. Just saying. But go ahead, Jay Cooley. What you wanted to say to Green?
Man, my whole train of thought is just left there.
All right.
He confused me.
Green, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's going on, Q?
Okay, I know how you feel about this fight, man. And I know how you feel about which way it's going to go, right? But let's say, hypothetically speaking, right, the opposite happens, man. Will you promise me you will not be one of those fans that, one, get to hollering Errol Spence was too big and Bub was too small? That's the reason why he beat him. And two, I don't want you to be one of those fans if Bomac throw in the Cheeto bag.
Q,
Man, hold up. Now I know what I'm going to say.
Don't y'all get mad. Don't y'all get mad.
Let him finish, Jay Cooley. Let him finish.
You definitely ain't got to worry about that. If he win, he won fair and square, because I already know Bud ready. So if he beat him, that mean he won fair and square. Ain't no excuses. We don't make no excuses over here, and we don't want no moral victories either.
But if Bud was to somehow, some way be everything that y'all say and believe he is, hey man, I will stand corrected. But I've been right so far, you know what I'm saying? So shit, I don't see why it's gonna stop now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I believe.
Q and Jay Cooley. This the only thing I'm gonna shoot back at y'all. Did y'all see Mikey Garcia after he fought Errol Spence?
Yeah, I saw
it. Did y'all? I know y'all seen Mikey Garcia look like he was ready for Cinco de Mayo right then and there.
Yeah, the boy don't got power like that, man. He don't.
Mikey Garcia.
He don't got no power like that.
The man ain't got power like that, man.
Motherfuckers don't be the same when they get out the ring like Earl Spence. And what you said Earl don't got nothing in his arsenal that can stop Bud. Nigga, Bud ain't got enough arsenal to keep Earl off of him.
Look, Jay Cooley, I'm gonna give you some statistical facts for an avid Spence fan, right? I'm sitting here on my other phone looking at the numbers. Spence threw over 1,000 punches at Mikey Garcia. I didn't see nothing crack on him at all. He threw over 1,000 punches. He threw over 1,000 punches, right? He landed 32% of them. He threw.
And you know what? You know my comeback for that is. Since y'all was calling him, he was doing that during the drunken stage. He was a drunk dude. So imagine not being drunk. He gonna throw 2,000 punches on your Bud ass. So
nah, Bud too long. Bud too long for that.
Now what?
Yeah,
now what? Now Bud always had the reach advantage on all his fights.
Hey, Jay Cooley, that was the young EJ though. Jay Cooley,
dude, if a Ferrari didn't stop him, you think Bud gonna stop him? We ready, bro. Y'all, we keep that same energy. Because on July 30th, you make sure you be back in the YouTube street. And I want y'all to put some respect on Big Bitch Name, right? Put some respect on Earl Name.
Hey, yo, I want to ask y'all something, man. I'm serious when I ask this question, and Spence fans can reply, or Crawford fans. It don't really matter. But I got a problem when I keep hearing, because I heard Gilly say this to Bud, and I heard y'all say this about Bud. People keep saying that Spence has a better resume than Crawford at 147. What opponent substantiates that claim?
Right.
I'll tell you what substantiates the claim. The fact that these opponents have been champions or former champions, as opposed to a lot of Bud's opponents at 147 have been contenders, pretenders, people that come out the vegetable market. You know what I'm saying? You know, green beans, step up to avocado, things of that nature. They was never done. That's why they say that, my brother.
That's not true, my brother. Wait. He mentioned former champions. Let's mention former champions then, since you said that. You know, Sean Porter was a former champion. Cal Brook was a former champion. Jeff Horn was a champion. So that negates your argument, my brother.
No, what was green beans?
It's also about timing.
What was green beans? What champion was green beans?
Who you talking about? David Evanesian?
Oh no. You got
Green beans was an Olympian like Errol was, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but Green
was he a world
also,
champion?
Green beans also previously just drew a fight with Ray Robinson. And people thought he lost right before he fought Bud.
Yeah, but Ray Robinson's a good fighter though,
Ray
bro.
Robinson
out of Philly
is one of Dennis Ugas's 12 knockouts.
Only thing you gotta do is take Sean Porter and Cal Brook off each resume and line their opponents up.
Ray Robinson's a good fighter though.
Lamont Peterson against Jeff Horn, or goddamn Chris Barron against goddamn shit.
I can't really hear you, bro. You kind of muzzled a little bit.
Hey, fellas. Hey, time out, fellas.
I got to rebut. I got to rebut.
Green. Hey, Green.
Yeah.
Hey, fellas, I appreciate everybody on the panel, man. The smoke is being fanned around the panel, man. I feel it, but we only got a 2-hour show today, fellas. We coming back on tonight, man. E-Thriller, the Black Picasso, gonna be on later tonight. So y'all stay tuned in for that tonight, and we can continue some more boxing talk.
I'll rotate back on you for sure.
Okay, so just give me your final, your closing thoughts, Green. We'll start out with you, boss. What you got?
I'm appreciate y'all letting me hop on, man. I tell everybody, man, when I surf around, because I'm a real confrontational person on these YouTube streets, especially when I go to a panel that's pro Errol Spence. But I tell everybody, Big Fish and Q, that they the realest though. You feel what I'm saying? I said can't nobody else that speak for Errol even hold a candle to him, and I give them their kudos every time, because it's gonna be a back and forth match. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna rotate back on y'all, and then we gonna talk about a lot of them 154 catchweight fights Errol had. 154, it ain't even get no intermediate belt, but I'm gonna holler back at y'all. G's, be smooth.
All right, we appreciate you, Green.
Already, Green.
Yeah, Jay Cooley, going out to you, boss, from Omaha, Nebraska, man. My home away from home. What you got for us, boss?
That's it, man. I'm out, man. I'll be back tonight. And man, y'all know that they respect Errol, man.
All right, that's a bet, Jay Cooley. We appreciate you calling in.
Already, Jay Cooley.
Dre the Southwest, what you got for us, boss?
Oh man, had a wonderful time with disrespectful discourse. Even though we didn't agree, we still disagree respectfully. But this is what I'm going to say, man. I'm definitely picking Crawford, but I respect Spence for taking the fight, and respect to the panel. And I just want to say this is something that can't be debated, and maybe it will be later on, but it's a lot of good fighters in the game, man, but it's only one Terence Crawford, and there's not one fighter fighting presently who can do what Terence Crawford does to the level he does it, and that's the actual fact. That's all I got. Y'all brothers be smooth. I'm going to catch y'all later. It's Philly.
I appreciate you, Dre, man. Y'all pull up on us anytime, man.
No doubt, my brother.
I appreciate you. All right, runs a sandwich, man. It's on you, boss. What you got?
Yeah, I appreciate it. First time y'all let me on any of these shows let me on the panel, man. So I appreciate it, man. Enjoy listening to all of y'all come down to the fight, man. Like the other brother just said, I respect Earl. I don't respect him necessarily for taking the fight. I mean, I think there's big money into that. It's a big payday. These 2 fights he get with Crawford, but I don't think I don't give him the credit as far as just he manning up. Nah, he chasing that payday. In my opinion, but either way, Crawford gonna handle the man. I look at I go back to the Porter fight, man. I feel like Spence was that was his most. To me, I was unimpressed against Porter. And shit, that lucky knockdown in the 12th round. Hell, we don't know who would have won that, but Crawford handled him easily, and Porter said what he said, man. And we can make excuses for what he said, but he fought both of them men, so he know it better than any of us on this panel. I'm gonna take his word because he actually was in the ring with both of them. And yeah, Nebraska stand up.
All right, Nebraska stand up already, man.
In the
All
building,
right,
man.
appreciate you, man, for pulling up on us, man. We'll be back on tonight at 10:30, man. If you ain't doing shit, pull up on E-Thriller, the Black Picasso. Appreciate you, boss. All right, Mosquito Spray, a.k.a. Eddie Atlas, a.k.a. the Buffet Killer. You know I had to throw that one in there, Mosquito Spray. Hey, Mosquito Spray has tapes. Garage, I seen it myself. He has boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of VCR tapes that let you know how old he is. Let us know what you got, Mosquito Spray.
Oh yeah, man. Appreciate that, man. I enjoyed for a few minutes, and I don't need to elaborate about how I feel in this fight right now. You already know what time it is, and man, I'll just catch y'all boy later on, man. Y'all take it light.
Already.
All right, Q. It's on you, boss.
Oh man, we had a nice little afternoon fry, man. Brothers pulled up, voiced their opinion. It was good, man. Can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm BJ Armstrong. You Michael Jordan, man. I know I just passed you the ball, man. You go dunk these buddies every time, man. Fadeaway, 3-pointer. What else you got? Hey, the counter game is so nice, Q. We go set up a debate. This is what we go. I don't know if you want to do this. How do you feel about putting your record on the line against another person with a perfect record? His record is a perfect one.
I don't know, man. I
don't know. We'll set that up later on, man. But yeah, go ahead and close us out, Q, man. Hey, for everybody listening, man, we appreciate E-Thriller, the Black Picasso, for giving us this platform to talk about boxing. We tried to keep it fair and neutral. We didn't want to be accused of hating on Bud. We respect Bud, but we just don't think he gonna win the fight. So that ain't nothing personal. Don't get in your feelings, please. E-Thriller, we will be back on tonight, 10:30. He's gonna be talking about the Stephen A. Smith interview with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. So pull up.
Shout out to E-Thriller, man. I appreciate E-Thriller, man. E-Thriller, one of the realest that's doing it out here, man. Staying solid, man. That's what's up.
Ready, Q. Hey, I gotta ask you something real quick. What them Houston Texans gonna do in that preseason, man? Y'all go draft that rookie or what? Y'all go start that rookie or what? I mean,
I think they got him starting coming second string. I think they trying to bring him on semi-slow, but I think by the first game or whatever, he'll been done earned the spot, man. We're excited for the season this year, man. We got something to be excited about, man.
So what you got for y'all record this year?
Oh shit, man! If we win 6 games, that's good.
So in other words, y'all gonna still suck, man. I got you, man. So I appreciate you, Q, man. It's been fun, man. I talk to you later on, boss. Shout out to the entire Wolf Pack for tuning in with us, man. We appreciate y'all support, man. Hit that like button for my dog, E Thriller.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The Black Picasso cleaning up the sport of boxing, speaking facts over the gossip. Haters all up in the comments. I ain't here to be liked, but smash that like and noti button. We don't sugarcoat nothing, just healthy boxing discussions. E-Thriller, painting these pictures oh so vivid. Applying Duke, Coach K, that straight full court pressure. Only God could judge me, so tell these chumps ducking smoke. Remember one thing that the boxing guys don't like, ugly. Shut out Big Fish and everybody that joins the panel. For all my new supporters, sub to the channel. Like Floyd say, it's easy work. That bait jab with that left hook send them straight to sleep. Experts, we the experts. We never sugarcoat. Tune in to Black Picasso. Sit back, enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.